Hello everyone, before we begin I want to clarify that these advices are not mine. I already done a video about writing, how to tell a story like this one or this one, but these advices are not mine. These advices belong to a professional screenwriter, so let's try to do it the right way. Let's begin. Oh, let's pause here. Well, it's not like two previous videos contained my ideas. One of them contained Stephen King's ideas, the other was about an 8-point arc, which surprise I did not invent. But I did that clarification simply to emphasize that some of today's ideas are from the writer I know personally. Yes, we all are doing this. We're all telling stories, recollecting personal stories, trying to fool somebody by telling some bullshit you just made up, trying to write an interesting post or a script for a YouTube video. We all tell stories. Today we'll try to figure out how to tell a story in such a way that a person would stick to the end of it. A good story, if it's really good, has a very important characteristic. It's capturing and keeping attention. If not, you are going to lose your listener very quickly, and it's not easy to bring him back afterwards. First, we need to understand what is keeping our attention. Is story supposed to be good on its own? Yeah, it's kinda important. Please do not distract people with platitudes. If you need to talk so much to somebody, please talk to a cat, not a living person. Attention, no animal was hurt during this procedure. Is charisma important? Definitely. Sometimes solely because of charisma, it is possible to capture a person's attention for many hours. But unfortunately, not everyone's got charisma. Not like me, for example. However, it wouldn't hurt any narrator to think beforehand and make his story interesting and captivating. And then, regardless of the narrator, your story will be heard. The first thing you need to decide on is the main theme of your story. Basically, every topic is interesting, but not for everyone. You've got to decide who your audience is. Because of these simple mistakes, many great shows failed. It's like a pop band trying to warm the audience up on a rock concert. Pitiful thing. In other words, if you're trying to teach your friend how to pick up girls, do not do it in front of his wife. He's still living with her, for God's sake. Now, when you've chosen your topic and your audience, it's time to move to the narration itself. The main advice: have patience, goddammit. Do not throw the main idea during the first minute, trying to speak as fast as a rapper who's trying to impress Eminem. A good story, a joke, a tale, they all have some kind of a backstory, a preparation of some sort. Even a girl's story explaining why she picked this particular shade of lipstick has a half-an-hour backstory. Nobody gives a damn about it, and probably nobody is gonna sit through the whole thing, but it does exist. You've got to remember, you're expressing your thoughts and your ideas with a particular objective. You want to be understood. You want your audience to absorb some parts of your experience. Your story must be tainted with emotions, whether it is sad story, happy story, or a convoluted bullshit with some random contemplation about life. So in short, when your audience received some background of your story and was dragged into a particular emotional state, then the audience is ready. The main idea should be specific and understandable. Do not just wipe your snot on a tree bark and pour a bucket of metaphors, hence hurting your audience and leaving it unsatisfied. A clear idea will be memorable and your audience will be grateful for your work. Transfer your ideas in an understandable manner. Respect your listener. And the last part is your conclusion. What did your story make somebody think about? Its aftertaste. You've got to understand that conclusion is highly subjective. Be ready that your listener would come to a different conclusion. Sometimes it differs significantly from yours. Your objective is to give information, ideas and emotions from your point of view, and then listener will digest it according to his personal experience. Do not try to persuade your audience into your point of view. You're not a politician after all, are you? Let's make another pause here and slow our pace down a little bit in order to understand not what to write, but how. You may have a great idea and still be sitting in front of a blank page, hesitating about how to start. Some writers have a certain amount of time for every day for which they're supposed to write. Others create a routine or an atmosphere, which is important, by the way. But the most important advice I've heard for any form of art is to have fun. When you're having fun, you're not counting minutes. You're not waiting for this activity to end. You're focused and the outside world dims down a little bit. And then when the activity engulfs you whole, then outside world disconnects from you completely. Those moments are the most productive. But what if you cannot catch this state? If you're just sitting down looking at a blank page for several minutes or maybe even hours? Well, science say that you need to do some activity for at least 10 minutes to become focused. Stephen King, for example, has a 6 pages rule. He writes 6 pages every day, at least 6 pages. By the time he finished those 6 pages, he's already engulfed in this activity, and then he'll continue writing for several hours. Just write anything that comes to mind. Doesn't matter how trivial, how dumb this is, just write something. You're going to write a couple of pages and then you'll enter the state of focus, and then you'll continue writing something good or something decent at least. After you finished your writing, the same day or the next day, you can come back to those couple of pages and edit them. And eventually you'll end up with a script or a short story instead of a blank page. Do not think that you're going to write a whole novel or a very big and interesting story right off the bat. Start small. Write a short story, write a very short script for a video, write a short post on your favorite social media at least. Do something. A good way of learning is copying, like in filmmaking. First you're copying somebody who's already established in the area that you're trying to learn, and then little by little you develop your own style. This rule applies not only to beginners. Established writers and filmmakers take others' ideas too. Call it whatever you want: inspiration, stealing, copying, but everyone does it. Good artists copy, but great artists steal. This is a quote originally spoken by Picasso, which not only proves that even the best artists are doing it, but also that this isn't something new. It brings us to an idea that nothing is truly original. Everybody gets some portion of inspiration from somebody else. Tarantino, who is a legend of filmmaking, was never ashamed of admitting that he stole ideas from others. I steal from every movie ever made. There is another great quote that is going to sum it up. Nothing is original. Steal from anywhere that resonates with inspiration or fuels your imagination. Authenticity is inevitable. Originality is non-existent. Before moving into writing scripts, every screenwriter should be able to write a story which is good on its own. Just start with a simple idea, create a character, and follow where the story leads you. A very important rule is that the story should be character-driven. Do not try to play God by overruling the rules of the world you just created. Do not try to make your character do something that this character would normally never do, simply because you want to make your story unexpected. If you successfully made it to this point, it means that this video is interesting enough for you, and this video was done according to the same structure. Make yourself clear, do not fool around. Good luck!